Hey guys, today we are going to discuss on the oil and gas sector analysis, where we'll see as to what should be the ideal framework as to how we should go about analyzing this sector, right? So, as we see over here, there in the oil and gas segment, there are two subsegments to it, right? One is the upstream and the second one is the downstream. Now, upstream means what? Oil and gas exploration companies. Those falls under the upstream part. So this segment includes companies engaged in exploration and production of crude oil and natural gases, right? Whereas in the downstream, it focuses on companies which are into refineries and oil marketing companies. So this segment includes oil refineries, petrochemical plants, and oil marketing companies, right? So these are the two segments where we have to focus on. We need to understand which are those set of companies and how these companies are performing and how, as an industry, this is really working, right? So the second aspect where we should focus on is on the government initiatives around this industry. So that may be in context of, say, the entry of foreign and Indian players in the upstream exploration activities, or percentage of FDI that is allowed by government in these segments, or new exploration licensing policy, or promotion of natural gas grid connect to connect supply centers of natural gas, or city gas distribution project, or transnational gas pipeline projects. So we need to understand what are the set of government initiatives that are coming up and how it's going to be affecting the industry as a whole in the days to come, right? Then we have to focus on the oil demand supply scenario, which is generally in million tons. So oil supply and oil demand, and a good source for getting these pieces of information would be the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas website, right? Then also the gas demand and supply scenario, which is in billion cubic meters per year. So that also for that, the good source is Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Then we need to understand what are the demand drivers for this particular industry. So it may be, say, increasing vehicle demand, or natural gas primary contributors, or growing popularity of CNG vehicles, or expected increase in LPG consumers, or increase in pipe natural gas consumption. So this may be many, but these are few of the aspects which I thought of sharing across with you. So demand driver is an element on which we can focus on. Then the import and export scenario, right? So say in context of oil import trends over the years in million tons. So again, the source, good source would be Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gases. So as we know, the major oil importing partners of India are, say, Saudi Arabia, Iran, UAE, Iraq, Nigeria, Kuwait, Venezuela, and Malaysia. So we can have an analysis around that, right? A good source for getting this information would be Director General of Foreign Trade website. Then it would be the LNG import trend, and for that, a good source would be Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. And as we know, the LNG importing partners of India are Qatar, Nigeria, Algeria, Belgium, Egypt, and UAE, right? Then we can speak about the capacity additions and investments in both the upstream and the downstream companies, right? What is the set of capacity addition that is coming up in the upcoming years, and which have been presently worked on. And a good source for that would be the CMI website and database, right? Then we can speak about the price trends in context of, say, the Brent crude oil prices or the natural gases, and for that we can fall back on the spot prices or MCX, right? Then the competitive scenario to understand the market share. And as we know, a few of the upstream companies includes Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited, or ONGC Videsh Limited, or Oil India Limited, or Gujarat State Petroleum Corporation. In the downstream, we have companies like Indian Oil Corporation Limited, Reliance Industries Limited, Bharat Petroleum Corporation, Hindustan Petroleum Corporation, Mangalore Refinery and Petrochemicals Limited, Acer Oil Limited, Chennai Petroleum Corporation, and so on. And then finally, we can assess the financial risk of this specific of this industry as a whole in context of raw materials, salaries and wages, SGA, interest, PBDIT, net margin, for which we can fall back on the CMI database. Also the key ratios around this sector, right? So I think if we are discussing around this set of elements, that really covers quite a lot in terms of the segments and the specific aspects which one as a reader need to understand to decipher how the sector is doing in terms of the oil and gas sector, right? So I think I this set of elements is really once you dig deep, research and get pieces of information, draw charts and uh, your graphs around this and to give a visual representation of this set of things that really forms into a report, and that really works great for a reader who is trying to understand how this sector is performing, right? So guys, I hope it adds value to you. So if you want to get this template, give me a file in the comment, and I'll share this file with you, and I hope it adds value to you, and give me a like, share, comment, and so that I really understand that this set of things are adding value to you, and that gives me the motivation to work more on other sectors, right? See you in the next video, guys. Bye.